All right, everybody, welcome to the Turn and Laps podcast here on our, normal night that we normally go through all this stuff. We've had these Wednesday broadcasts the last couple of weeks, but joining me this evening is Mr. Bryce Fontaine and Sean Happy. We got the two series owners here sitting side by side with me. We're going to talk about what we got going on tonight as well as what we had going on last weekend with our finale of our truck series. And I think started off. Let's talk about the truck series. We got our champion down here, our owner in the bottom corner, Mr. Sean Happy.
Yep, what up? Fix is in.
The fix is in. He owns the league. He rigged it. And joining us now, also below me, the number 99, Sean Wilder.
What's up, guys?
We're just getting ready to go over the finale of the truck series. So it's fitting that you just joined since you finished P2 in that race to close out the year. As we look at the backside of Bryce here.
Come on. My Stream Deck mount is falling apart live as we speak.
Great. Awesome. Yep. Just what you wanted to hear.
Hey, but I got the trusty dusty Allen keys.
There we go. So we have our season 2 champion, though, the owner, Sean Happy. How you feeling after a championship season?
Oh, pretty good. I guess it can't go better. A little bittersweet because it sucks not to be able to race truck, but I'm kind of excited to see this next season, watch it unfold, help out wherever I can, race control, broadcast, or just watching. I don't know what I'll be doing, but we'll figure it out.
Yes, you do. You're going to be racing Gen 6.
Well, I meant for the Sundays for trucks.
Oh, gotcha.
It's gonna
be hard.
Sounds
so excited about it.
He does, doesn't
he? Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to watch it. Yeah,
he didn't earn it.
He didn't earn it. He earned it. He earned it at the end here with a third win in the cap.
I don't know why you're just calling yourself out because 2 admins have won trucks in a row. So
yeah, it's true. The 2 series owners are 2-0 in truck series.
So
hey, all I'm saying was mine at least was a lot more convincing.
I don't need convincing. I'm trying to grow the league.
There was a lot more parity in season 2, though. To be fair, I'm sure.
So nope, it's good. It's awesome. I'm excited to get this rolling. I just put out a flyer today for trucks.
Great.
So we'll see that. And then shortly here in the next couple of days, I'll probably put it out for Gen 6. I think we'll get a lot of crossover. So I'm not trying to put them out there at the exact same time. There'll be a whole bunch to keep up with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot.
And with the beginning of the off season, we're going to start the recruiting process. Like Sean just said, we're going to have the flyers out here for Gen 6, and we already have one out for the trucks. So keep your eyes open for those recruitment races because that's a good opportunity to get some preseason action in and prepare yourself for season 3 of the truck series or the inaugural season of the Gen 6. So keep your eyes open for us posting in the Discord for those. The race at Homestead, though, it was a great race for everybody involved. Bryce and I up in the booth for that one. I swapped out the steering wheel for the microphone, and glad I got to be able to witness that race. Realistically, it was led by the 2 gentlemen to the bottom of the screen here for pretty much the entirety of the race. Wilder, you were pretty dominant in the first stage and pretty dominant in the beginning of stage 2. How did you feel about the race there, that lit right there on Sunday night?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was just faster. I was slower on the longer runs, obviously, than Happy. He was able to do what he always does and, kind of slow play it and be there at the end. And he kind of dominated, really, though, the last half of the race. I think he was one of I was pushing so hard to try to get him at the beginning of that last stage and at that pit stop. I think I maybe overheated my tires. That's probably what happened, and I just kind of lost pace.
That's definitely my strength is the long run. Unfortunately, we haven't had that a lot. So if we would have had a couple more cautions, it would have been a whole different race for sure.
His strength is being so slow that he's fast.
I was going to say,
exactly.
I heard Wilder say
the tortoise,
he slow played it. So I think he called you slow there.
It's
Happy.
fine. It's fine. Slow and steady.
No, he's just
Wins the championship.
he's always just fast enough to be, you know what I mean? Just fast enough that you don't have to, he takes care of his truck all the time or car, and he's just as fast as he needs to be to stay out in front of everybody.
Yeah, and he was consistent pretty much the entire season too. There weren't very many poor performances out of Happy, and anytime he had a poor finish, it wasn't necessarily because of a situation he put himself into. It was more of the people around him collecting him into those incidents. So, Mr. Consistency wins the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed out of most of the trial. I had a handful of bad races, like in the 20s, but I think overall, I think I got a super speedway win, and I got a.
Looked into that one.
Yeah, I did, but I'll take it though. But I did perform okay at the road courses, which I always say, if you ever want to win a championship, you have to at least be mediocre at a road course. Like, you can't have a weak point, like you know what I mean? You can't be saying, "Oh, I suck. I'm gonna miss it," or "I'm just gonna be 30th."
Well, you can be weak. You can be weak at road courses, especially with the playoff format, because you don't have to win that race. If you win another race in that round, you're fine.
Well, that is true.
It all depends. It all depends, though. I mean, you look at, I know barring some other factors, but Cornwell was a great example in the Truck Series this season. He was our first multiple-time winner. I don't know what the exact, legit stats were, but I don't think the guy finished outside of the top 10. And he probably lost a crap ton of points on the road courses. And then, you look at a guy like Bryce Tucker, who 2 of his wins they were on a road course. So, kind of the Shane Van Gisbergen effect there. But, road courses are very important. I think, too, it's you look at a super speedway, you look at a mile and a half, you look at a short track. I feel like the road courses are the tracks that you can really, jump and gain some momentum. Because I could have a great week. I could be running mid-pack. I could get a top 5 finish, at a mile and a half or whatever, and feel good about it. But if I go to a road course and get a top 5 or hell even win the thing, it's oh, wait a minute, that's something that is also, I don't ever want to say guarantee, but if there's a road course round in the playoffs, me personally, I'm feeling pretty good about guaranteeing myself a win. Now, again, obviously there are no guarantees, but it's a level of comfortability that you get. And especially I feel like the next big thing too is we can all sit here and practice a track like Kansas till we're blue in the face, right? But at some point, we're all going to kind of get to that same ceiling. Mm-hmm. Whereas the road courses, the ceiling is a lot higher and a lot lower for a lot of different people. And I feel like the road courses are kind of the only place that I feel like you kind of genuinely have control over your race for the entirety of the race. Of course, if there is lap traffic, that's always something to navigate, but road courses are literally you and the track. There's not a whole lot of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or somebody else doing something that you get caught up in. It's you and the track, and you've got to perform. And I think that's what sets apart the road courses. And Happy and Tucker, and I think hell, even Wilder at the Roval. That was a 3-horse race, and that was fun as hell to watch. And it was cool to see how hard that those guys can battle and still be 10, 20 seconds away from the rest of the field. But it goes to show you again that difference of skill gap and how important it is at a road course.
I forgot I screwed up my qualifying at the Roval. I forgot all about the Roval. I think I qualified 19th, so. And I think I was able to battle back because some people's errors. I think I got 3rd that one. I think I got 2nd. Yeah.
Did your lap? I thought your lap was disallowed or something.
It was.
I know you were with me. I remember. And I didn't qualify because I knew that I was going to be in a situation.
Yeah, I was 19th.
In over my head.
Oh my god! But on that Kansas road, Cornwell wasn't good. He was leading in points. He had a 60, 50 point lead in stage points. I think I won both stages at Kansas
or at
Road.
Least first and second.
At least one of them, and then second on the other one. I don't know, but I gained a buttload of points on him. And that really kind of got me set, because then I had 3 top 3 finishes in a row after that. So
yeah, he was coming off of back-to-back wins. I believe he won Nashville Super Speedway and then followed up with the win at Kansas as well.
Right. So
and then going into that road course race, he looked like the horse to beat for the entire season. He kept it up that way.
He 100% was, but yeah. I mean, just get familiar with the road. You don't have to be any badass at a road course, but if you can,
It helps.
yeah,
It does help.
It
Yeah.
sure helps. But I understand the tribulations of the road course. But, you know, yeah, if you're just decent all the way around, you don't have to be no badass. So on all all across. No, his brother's calling me now.
Oh, okay.
That's even bad. But anyway, yep, that was great. Great season. Guess we can get into Arco. Got poor old guy. We're still waiting down here.
Yeah, we'll go down and is he down there?
He is.
He was.
Yeah, let's grab him.
He still is. All right, I'll bring him.
I can try.
Okay.
I don't have the rig fully set up, so it's a little interesting at times.
And here he is, Tim Taylor, the driver of the number 23 in the ARCA series, our newest series. Well, one of our newer series here in High Velocity Racing League. How you doing tonight, Tim?
I am doing pretty good.
So we just wanted to kind of ask how the sign-in process was for you, and kind of like talk us through, how everything went getting into this new series here for us.
Well, obviously it's my first league that I've been in. I mean, I've been on iRacing for a couple months now, and kind of like gotten bored of the official racing, I guess you could call it. Registration and everything was actually pretty decent compared to all the other leagues that are, wanting other guys to join. So pretty seamless, pretty easy. You guys I think that your guys' Discord, honestly, is pretty well organized and easy to navigate according to the other one. So I will give you guys that for sure.
Oh, I knew
Yeah,
Bryce was going to do
pat on the
that.
back for Bryce. Yeah, you're just going to make Bryce's head even bigger. You keep doing that. So you said you've been on the service for a couple of months now, and got bored of the officials. How has your experience been on the service as a whole?
It hasn't been too bad. I mean, I saw you guys were looking for, new drivers for this ARCA league, and I was like, that's probably that's my calling, to get away from all these guys out here. They think it's a demolition derby. So I like how you guys kind of coordinate, and you guys navigate your standards and your SOP, I guess you could say, towards rules and everything. Kind of keep guys in line, and that's kind of really what I'm looking for a decent race.
Well, between us all, I think all of us have probably had some pretty bad experiences with the leagues, and I'm sure we've had some pretty good ones. And I feel like we all just came together and kind of just really just cherry picked the best of each leagues, and not to mention throw out some of our own ideas there to kind of make this hopefully the best of every bit of us that we've had experience in other leagues. So
yeah, it's kind of, looking back on it, it's kind of funny how I won't say it's funny how the league started, but it's funny to where we're at now. I remember you just asking me to join as nothing, and then here we are, almost a year later. It feels like, I don't even know if it's been that long.
No, I think Sunday is a year.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
our
about.
First race.
Yeah, which is it's crazy, dude. I mean, like you said, the good, the bad, and the ugly from all the other experiences that we've been a part of to bring it all here. And of course, we're not perfect, and we'll still screw up plenty of other times. But it's dude, it's crazy to think about. This may sound cheesy, but I know Chase and Happy, you both can relate, and Wilder will start to relate very soon. But this is literally almost it feels like a part of my life now. Whether it's work or if it's fun, of course there's both aspects, but there's not I feel like a day that goes by, even on a weekend or whatever, that I'm not doing something that is contributing to this league, and whether it's something I want to do or it's not. It's crazy, and it sounds crazy or even saying it, but it doesn't really feel like a burden or anything. It's just kind of part of my life now, so it's cool.
I'm sure Wilder's finding that out real quick.
He's learning. He's learning on the fly. We threw him to the wolves.
Well, even before, I mean, that's why I get so passionate, and I've had, I'm not altercations with words with people. I care about it, and I love doing it, and you know, I think that's just like the passion coming out, and sometimes, sometimes it comes out wrong, you know, and so it's just we care about it. Obviously, we're doing a podcast about it, so we care about this league, and it just shows, you know, I think in our league, it's only going to get better.
Well, I know you've done a pretty good job. I mean, we opened it up 6 days later. We had to close registration, and I know we have 52 that are signed up with numbers on the roster. I think I went and counted today. I don't remember that number because that's a good number. So,
Sure.
If I can say one thing, I can tell already by the week and a half that you guys have. I've been in this server with you guys. You guys do take pride in what you do, and I can see that. And is why I reached out to one of the Sean's, and I was like, I really want, like, I would love to be a part of like what you guys are doing here. So obviously now I'm invited to your guys' podcast, so I appreciate everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're always looking for help. We've said that from the beginning. So if you've got time that you want to dedicate to this, I mean, we all appreciate anything that you are willing to give, because I mean, we give a lot of time, all of us do, but at the end of the day, a crap ton of time. Yeah, I mean, between the broadcast, the rule book making, the schedule making, I mean, there's a lot to it behind the scenes. And
hey, Happy's probably just glad that I moved from Tennessee, because there was a point in time where I was calling him on my way home from work every day, and what was supposed to be a 30-minute phone call, we both look down and be like, "Oh shit, dude, it's been 2 hours." Like,
it would. My last hour of work is his hour away home. It's all right. I'm gonna have a month worth of phone calls when he's lonely in the hotel in Chicago.
Dude, oh my god, I'm at a point, like, honestly, I'm gonna be glad to be taking a break, because like, apart from our off season, dude, I feel like unless we've had an off week for a holiday, which I know we just technically had one, but I can't even tell you the last time I went a week without racing at least something. Like, that's how I got, like, not to go off on a tangent, but when I started bowling a couple years ago, we did a league, and it was I think it was either 12 or 16 weeks. I can't remember, one of the two. And you got like 2 weeks off, but me and my wife were talking about it because we both joined it, and it was like, we haven't not bowled a weekend in like 2 years. Like, it was at least one, you know, if it was this league or if we went to just have fun or practice, like, I'm like looking back at the count, I'm like, nope, we went that week. Nope, we went that week. And I'm like, damn. But I'm going to definitely be excited to take a break, but I know how I am. Like, tonight's race could go horrible, and I could say, F this, I don't want to race ever again. And then I know as soon as I turn a stream on, like Monday, because that's when another league is I race, I'll be watching that race, and I'll be like,
I wish I was there.
Although it is Martinsville, so that might not be the greatest example, but
hey,
I know
you did well at Martinsville in the Xfinity Series race.
Yeah, I did all right. But man, it's just like, it's just so much. But I like I said, dude, like, seriously, not to go back on it, but I'm honestly kind of glad too. Like, it's been a part of my life. Like, I'm the type of person where, and I'm sure this won't come to a surprise to most, but like, I don't really care to go out and do a whole lot. Like, yeah, I dabble. Of course, I bowl and I golf and do whatever, you know, the wife wants to do. But like, dude, I would say honestly, like 90% of my friendships have come from like the online world. Hell, I even met my wife on the internet. Like, it sounds crazy, but like, it's just how I am. And dude, it's just like a lot of times too, like, I guarantee you, if y'all need something done in the Discord, if I ain't working, it's gonna get done, because I'm so involved in it, man. And like I said, I enjoy every moment of it. And it's like Wilder said, like, I know I've had my moments too, but again, it just comes from like a level of dedication and passion. Like, I'm the type of person, if I do something, it's 110. Like, I'm not, like, I know I don't have like anywhere near the best equipment, but I got my wheel. It was supposed to be for NASCAR Heat 5 on the Xbox. I found out it wasn't compatible. I bought iRacing that night, and then I think it was like a month later, I had an ultra-wide monitor. I had my whole rig. I was setting a stream deck up. Like,
So
I mean,
you just fell into iRacing on accident, huh?
You jumped into the rabbit hole. Holy cow.
Literally. So, like I said, I was, you know, different now, but of course, you know, my parents were here, and I was in Nashville. And I was just kind of bored on the weekends, just looking for something to do. Wanted to spend time with my dad. I had purchased, I want to say, like, an equivalent to like a G27 or a G29. I had bought that first. It was already ordered in my cart. I had just hit the order. And then I was scrolling through Amazon like after I hit order, and I'm looking at them. The Moza R5 bundle was like was like $120 more than what I had bought, and it was direct drive. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, scratch that. Canceled the order on the Logitech or whatever it was. It may have been Thrustmaster Hell. I don't even know. Bought this, and then I got it here, and I'm like, wait a minute. And because I'd never even researched it. Moza didn't have the R3 at the time. They didn't have any other compatibility. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? I had my other PC that I usually use for broadcasting and everything, and it's like, well, I guess it's time to get iRacing. I bought it that night, downloaded it, had the desk stand on. Like, I got to pull up a video and put it in the Discord if I still have it. I have a video from the first time that I ever even installed iRacing and played it. It was like street stock somewhere, and I was like, it was either that or like the legacy truck. And I was sending a video to my dad, and I'm like, for real, like Sean mentioned in the last podcast, I'm like DJ EJ all up on my desk, like freaking just giddy, having a jolly old time. And I go back and look at it now, and it's just funny. But yeah, dude, it iRacing literally just kind of fell into my lap, and it's been something that's part of my life ever since. It's crazy. But
Yeah, I was watching TikTok, and I couldn't tell if it was some guy was broadcasting it, and I thought it was like a real race because it just looked so good, and I was like, I gotta have that. And I was trying to look at the comments and try to find out what it was. I finally found out what it was, and I was hooked after that. Tim, how did you find out or get into iRacing down there?
I mean, I've seen iRacing around. Obviously, like scrolling through like social media and stuff. I actually got on iRacing and I did it for a couple days and I deleted it. It was way too much. But then I got bored with everything else. You know, like the games that everybody else is playing. I re-downloaded it again. I got into it. I got banned my first time for a week, and then that's when I kind of like. I started getting pretty serious about it. I mean, from then on, I got the steering wheel, I got the Moza R5, then I upgraded to 3 screens, and then ever since then, it's just been like progression of just this. Usually, like when my girlfriend's not here, it's pretty much all I'm doing. So, yeah. So she's watched me a few times, and she thinks I'm nuts, but. Obviously, I've been into like oval racing and NASCAR since I was a kid, and I loved it. I mean, I was like NASCAR Thunder back when Xbox first came out with the steering wheel you strapped to your legs when they first came out with that, and ever since then I've just been in love with just like racing online because it's obviously too expensive in real life. But
so really important question.
Yeah.
Before we move any further with your tenure here in high velocity racing.
Just don't say his favorite driver.
Who is your favorite driver?
Okay. I got a few. All right, okay. I'm gonna narrow it down to one. Obviously, I run the number 23. It was Bubba Wallace back in the day, and I was born on the 23rd, so I gotta like it. But currently, as of right now,
no wrong answers except one.
Don't be mad. Ross Chastain's currently my favorite.
Yeah. Get him back in here. He's a smart man. Get him back in here. He's a smart man. Let's go.
But second is obviously Carson Hocevar because
there you go. That's a good answer too.
That's an answer I can respect. I can respect that answer. The first pick, although I will say, after he did win the Coke 600, in his interview, I did gain a little bit more respect for him. I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. This is gonna hurt my case. I don't know why I never really didn't like the guy. He just,
because you like
Logano. Well, it's not even because of that. I think a lot of people don't like Joey just because of his face.
I was about to say sometimes it's just their face, man.
Yeah. Sometimes you just see somebody and you're just like,
he's got a punch.
I don't like that guy. Yeah,
Change your face.
He does.
But he is an incredible commentary guy, and he should definitely look at doing that after he's done racing.
Yeah. But yeah, Chastain has gained some respect. I think Hocevar obviously is making waves. I think Hocevar is somebody that is good for the sport. And it's funny, like I was talking about this the other day. Dale Jr. just posted a video on TikTok. Well, I don't know if he posted it or if it was Dirty Mo Media or somebody just interviewed him, but he was asked of a couple people that remind him of Dale Sr. Mm-hmm. Ross was on that list, Logano was on that list, and Hocevar was on that list. Yep. And it's just absolutely hilarious to me. Like, the amount of things that people cry and complain about, about these said drivers are the same things that Dale was doing when he was in the sport. Happy, you and I talked about this a couple months ago, and it's the same thing that he did that they're doing, and now all of a sudden it's like just the biggest. Oh, well, host of ours an idiot. He don't know how to drive, and Logano's a crybaby, which he can be a crybaby, but dude, we're all crybabies. We're all hypocrites. We all move people out of the way and hate when we get moved out of the way. Like, it's everybody. But I was glad to see Chastain win it over William Byron and Denny Hamlin. I will say, any week, anybody but Denny. I don't care. Anybody but Denny.
Amen.
Well, Tim, you did mention you have a girlfriend. I talk about this every few
Where's
months.
this gonna go?
But I'm telling you, one day we're gonna set up some type of powder puff race for everybody's old lady.
Yes,
I
dude,
keep talking about it, and I forget about it, and never do it. But we've got to do that one day. That would be
awesome,
great.
dude.
That would be content.
I don't know who all would. I don't. You know how them ladies are. They probably would never do it.
Damage would have to be off.
Yeah,
for sure. And I think
cautions too, probably.
Cautions off, damage off, and it would have to be like it's weird because I want to say it would have to be like Daytona or Talladega just because it's easy, but at the same point it's not. So
Right.
it's like maybe we do Daytona or Talladega and we knock the power down on the cars to like 75% or something. Like, I don't know, dude. I had my wife try it one time, and I think it was a street stock at Charlotte, and bless her heart is all I'm gonna say. Oh, you're just turning left. Okay, you get your ass up on here and try it. But that was we need to do that.
Oh, we do.
That would be cool.
Tim, how's your iRating? Are you gonna be able to compete with these ARCA guys, or do you have a lot of experience with this ARCA car?
I've actually the ARCA car is actually one of my favorites. I haven't done it much only because I've been stuck doing like official, whichever one comes up first because I'm impatient sometimes.
Respect that.
But the ARCA car is obviously my favorite. I did the official Menard series for a little bit until they make you buy like every track, which is what it is. But my iRating, it started off good.
They always do.
I realized that it goes down. I was like finishing a race and I'd slam on the brakes and smack into a wall. I didn't know that affected your iRating. Currently, I think it's a little around 800, which is terrible. But we're getting back up there. I'm looking now and it's kind of like skyrocketing a little bit, so that's good. Especially racing with you guys and kind of seeing like how you guys kind of like want to teach us how to race the right way. I jumped into, I think, an official race after Tuesday's race, and I actually think I got 4th out of 20 something. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, I'm definitely learning a lot. So hopefully my rating goes up to be able to compete with you guys in the truck series. So we'll see how that one goes.
We take top fives. Top fives are great.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even saying this about HVRL. This is a general blanket statement. League racing, if you want to get faster and improve faster, league racing is the best way on the service to do it. When I first got iRacing, like I said, out of the blue, I had done a couple officials. Like, I won my first Legends race I ever did. I think I won the first street stock race I ever did and thought I was the next Kyle Larson or something. And then I joined the league and got humbled very quickly, which I needed that, obviously, but racing around the same people every week, like you can ask anybody. I don't race officials hardly ever. It's not that I'm scared of them. It's just the stigma around them. I just have no desire to do it. But when you get to race around the same people every week and you know what you're gonna get, that's when you get to work on other things. Whereas like in officials, dude, everybody's in bubble wrap, right? Like everybody's like, okay, what is this idiot gonna do, or what's this guy gonna do? You're not worried about what everybody else is gonna do or what you think they're gonna do. You know what everybody's gonna do, and you can work around that. And I mean, it's helped me tremendously. Like I said, I vouch for anybody. Like, don't be scared to join a league if you've been on the service 10 years or 10 days. Like, as long as you can get around the track without causing problems, like, join a league, and I'm telling you, like, it will be the best way to progress because you get a guaranteed, at least minimum, usually 15 weeks. Most leagues are standard anywhere between 10 to 20 weeks. You get a guaranteed 10 weeks, and again, you're racing around the same guys. You get a multitude of different tracks. You get mile and a halves. You get short tracks. You get road courses, super speedways. Like, it's literally the one-stop shop for everything. And I think leagues have been the number one contributing factor to the, I use this term loosely, obviously, but the success that I've had is I think due honestly to the amount of leagues that I've ran.
So, what's your goal for this season, Tim?
My goal: survive a little bit.
That is that is a good goal in this ARCA series.
I mean,
with as many
great
drivers
goal.
as we have, and as low as I rating, and then as new as I feel like a lot of these guys are to the service, it'll definitely be a little crazy out there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I had that was my first league race. I mean, I feel like there were a lot of newer guys in that. I mean, I started in maybe like 23rd. I finished in 14th. I watched your guys' podcast the day after and kind of went over things, and I was like, yep, yeah. You know, I went through. I was like, I can kind of like agree and take some corrective criticism on things that I was doing. But I feel like we'll all get better. I mean, if we all stick together and we learn together, we'll all get better as one. And then by the end of the season, I hope we're all running a tight pack around the track with less caution, less black flags. I mean, that's my goal, honestly, is to kind of get finish higher and just see everyone else around me learn how to drive. I think that's probably like one of the main things I'm looking for, is just to seeing everyone else get better. I mean, there was a couple cars around me that I'm not going to forget the rest of the season, that I'm going to hope that, we're all going to get better and we'll learn from our mistakes as we go.
Well, that is good that you pick a couple of those out that you know to maybe stay away from, if that's more what you're leaning to meaning on that. But it was the same thing with trucks bowl season. They all started out kind of bad. They got better with a real weird one always thrown in there. It was like we had like
Chicago
Charlotte
in season 1.
Yeah. And then like Charlotte this season, like I was like,
that's what I was gonna say, dude. It's
Charlotte was weird. Richmond was weird. Those both were in season 2 were very strange, because Charlotte was
we just got
very
off
clean,
going really good
at the end, and it was real rough at the beginning. And Richmond was the complete opposite. It was real good, clean race in the first half of the race, and the second half was just a show. We're going to call it a show.
So all I can say is you'll have an easy track that you'll be like, okay, we're going to do really good here, and it's just going to be a shit show. Let's just be honest. I don't know why. It just happened every season.
No, it is. Yeah. I mean, season 1, like I said, season 1 started off awful. The Daytona race was horrible. And then it's like season 1, it got progressively better, and then Dover and Chicagoland were, again, 2 shit shows. And then after that, we had like hardly any issues. And then this season, I think the progress, it took longer. It was more gradual. But when it did clean up, it was clean. And then, of course, again, you always have the outlier. But one thing that I would say to anybody in the ARCA series or even the truck or Gen 6 series, like, don't judge the whole league off the first, I would honestly say 5 races, which I know sounds like a lot. That's 5 weeks. But we all can attest, every person in here, that it does clean up. Naturally, the ARCA series, I'm just going to say it bluntly, the ARCA series is probably going to be the biggest shit show out of the 3 of them. It's just, by the nature, that's not any disrespect to anybody, but you've got the lowest tier of driving. Again, I say that with as much grace as possible, but we all know where we're at, and that's going to take longer to get up to speed. But once it does get up to speed, it's going to be fun as hell to watch. And I'm sure it's going to be fun to participate. Hell, I had a blast until I got kicked, but it was an absolute blast. And yeah, so just like the big, like,
that is definitely why
first season, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely why we preach just respect your other drivers and give each other room out there. You don't have to push it 3 wide and send it on lap 12. I mean, just stay steady, and I promise those other guys will make a mistake, and you'll get right around them.
Yep. Points racing is completely different from officials. Officials, you're trying to get everything you can as you're going. Points racing, you're just trying to get as many points in that night as you possibly can. And sometimes that's a top 10. Sometimes that's a top 3. Other times that's a top 20. Sometimes you just got to know where you are at on track and try to be able to just get as much out of it as you can.
Right. So, well, that's why we didn't add stages. Well, I didn't feel like we needed to have these guys race hard for 2 stages at the end and reckon more. Let's just do a comp caution, no stage, kind of shorter races.
Let it spread out.
Yeah, then just let these guys get used to the league and the racing. Then when they move up the trucks, they can have more fun with a point system in the playoffs and kind of things like that. So, I think it'll be good to watch. Other than
talking
that,
about that,
yeah.
talking about that real quick though, Tim, how do you feel about the points and everything, and how we've got the races set up?
I haven't really dived too much into points yet. I mean, only because I'm not too worried about points yet. I mean, I'm still just trying to get used to league racing. I mean, I feel like points will help and encourage the drivers to actually want to finish instead of, going out there and sending somebody into the wall or getting behind somebody's fender. That's where I'm at with the points. I mean, I'm just out here driving. I'm not too worried about them right now. I'm getting used to it. I mean, eventually, I would say. I mean, I looked at the schedule, and you guys have a chase starting halfway through. I think that's probably when I'll start kind of like diving into the points. I mean, obviously, you want to get a head start on the
Yeah, I
points.
think it's 10 races in the season and 8 in a chase. So, yeah, so it'll be a little bit more than half, but that's all it is. It's just standard cookie cutter points. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, you get into the upper series, pretty much if you get out of this Discord, we run the playoffs and knockouts and winning you're in type of thing. So, but
Right.
here
Yeah.
we just want cookie. I don't want these guys to sit there and worry about everything else except driving. Let's
Right.
focus on driving.
And that's where I stand. Is right. Like, obviously, this is my first season. We did one preseason race. I mean, I looked at the schedule and I saw some tracks that I really like, some that I'm not too fond of. I'm not worried about points right now. I'm just gonna try to. I mean, it's my first season. I'm just out here to get a couple laps in cleanly, and the points will come when we get them. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So, what races are you looking forward to and not looking forward to? I'm always
Uh,
curious on some of these newer guys to the service on what they
let,
like and don't.
let's say Watkins Glen is not my favorite. I've always
Oh
hated
man,
that.
here we go.
I've always hated Watkins Glen. I mean, even back in the day. I'm actually looking forward to Chicagoland, oddly. Um, but I will say that my favorite oval track is Charlotte.
I do love me
So
some Charlotte, and
I do like
Chicagoland's a great
Charlotte.
track. Yeah, for sure.
I think Watkins Glen is a hot take, not because it's a road course. I feel like Watkins Glen is always the road course everybody loves.
It is.
Like,
It is.
Everybody hates the Sonoma,
The only
the
road
Roval,
course. Yeah.
But yeah, no. One thing I'll say, we were kind of talking about this before you even got in here. Like, at least I can attest to, a lot of the wins that I've had have come at tracks that like I didn't like, if that makes sense. But like running the tracks that you don't like or you don't feel the most confident in, they can do a lot for your confidence, especially if you do have a good finish. Like, oh, this is a track I didn't think I would perform too well at. I actually got a top X, whatever, top 5, top 10, whatever. Like, I would definitely say, and I'm not saying you're the type to do this, but we've seen it over the course of our seasons that there's a lot of guys that just straight up miss the tracks they don't like. They don't show up, and I know you're not concerned for points, but when it does come to points, you take a big hit. And 2, you're not really growing if you do that. Like, if you just run away and avoid all the tracks you don't
100%.
like,
Yep.
you're never gonna like them because you're never gonna get like Texas. Texas is a track that I mean, even still to this day, I don't really think I like Texas, but I've had some of my best races there at Texas. Like, it's just one of those deals where I would just encourage people that, again, just because you on paper don't like a track, definitely don't give up on it. Run it, and it can do a lot for you.
No, like Dover. I wanted Dover. Had no thought in my little brain that I was even going to really get even a top 5 at Dover. So, and I got my first win of this in this league at Dover. So, surprised me. Wilder,
And
did you ever do any? Did you do overly good at a track you didn't think you were going to this season?
I can't think of one. I don't know. The tracks I don't like, Texas is one I definitely don't like, but I've been running the ARCA this week, and it's been fun because it's like 115 degrees track temp, and the car gets loose, so it's actually pretty fun. So I was pretty surprised by that. So if you guys are listening in the ARCA, go ahead and try out that Texas. It's actually pretty fun this week.
Well, I guess we can get into Talladega real quick. The Cup, the round one of the round of 12. This is a big race for Bryce since he's gonna miss.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I think if he doesn't win, I don't know if he's gonna be able to move on.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's possible. I mean, luckily, we all know how much I love the super speedways and the road courses, and so I feel confident. But we saw how Daytona went. We at Eternal had control of literally the whole entire race until we didn't. So those split decisions can cost you. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. All in all, man. I mean, I've already come to terms that if this time away in Chicago is going to kill me, then it is what it is. I got the regular season. I won, a decent amount of races, and I'll come back and win some more, even if I'm not in the playoffs. That's what I'm telling myself, and hopefully we can hang on. But if not, it's been fun. It's been real. So hopefully tonight goes well. I'm gonna, it's one of those things like Charlotte, for example. Like before my PC took a crap, like I wanted to prioritize the win at Charlotte, like really bad, because I knew that I was going to be leaving, and I got decent stage points, but I stand by. I think I would have had that race won. We had 3 pit stops left. I had a set of tires for every stop. The race went green. I think I would have been golden. I really wanted to prioritize the win. 1, for the playoff points, because those meant more to me, and then 2, just for the points gap. So tonight I'm kind of in that same boat where it's like I'm not going to choose a stage over a race win. I'm just going to go for everything I can get. If I can get a stage win or 2, great. Obviously, if I can win the race, great. But I just want to finish. Like, if I can finish in the top 5, I think that'll be a win. And then, like I said, we'll just have to see how the numbers fall and go from there.
How's it looking for the sign up? I know in Cup, not a lot of people tend to not. Although we did have a lot of sign up last race we had, and a lot of people show up.
Sign up. We're looking at 16 with 2 tentative right now.
16, 210. Well, that's pretty good for the sign up.
Yeah, and there's always the handful that
don't sign up and we'll show up.
Don't sign up and we'll show up.
So
yeah, I mean,
well, good.
We'll
I would say we can pick who, but who cares? It's Talladega. It could be anybody. So
we could. But there is.
Well, I know.
Skill gap.
Yes, there is. Well, especially with these cars, because now I learned after Daytona, I'm gonna have to be on someone's ass at all times. Because
yeah,
if I lose within 5 foot, dude, I'll be out of the draft. These cars are crazy.
Well, let's pick some drivers. Let's start with, I know who Bryce is taking himself, right?
Yeah, I would say myself or anybody on my team. We all work well together, and I mean that's the beauty of these tracks too, right? Like, doesn't matter how good I am or how good another person is solo, you got to have help. So anybody on the Eternal, I'll be happy with.
Happy.
But if you're not betting on yourself, what are you doing?
I'm
Happy.
I'm looking at the race sign in here.
Why are you even looking, dude? You're the self-proclaimed super speedway freaking king.
I know, you're the super speedway king.
That was only Daytona.
No, that was Talladega.
Oh yeah. Well then me, but no, we can't pick ourselves.
He's going for the sweep.
You know what? I'm gonna go Nava. I see he signed up. I feel like he's gonna finally stay out of trouble for once in his HVRL career.
That's a bigger gamble than him winning. Him not ranking is a big. And that's not a dig to him. But...
Wilder, who are you going to take tonight?
I'm going to pick Danny Gross. He's been running up front. He's had some problems some races, but he's definitely had speed, I think, to stay up with top 5.
Well, I would pick him too if he had better teammates.
Oh,
well, I'm one of them.
Hey, I don't mean.
I know, that's why we were oohing.
We got a disgruntled team camp over there.
Although we will probably have 8 people working together in our chat today.
Yes,
so.
we will.
I'll give Bryce $10 if he wins.
Oh, there you go, Bryce.
That's a good bet.
Incentive.
That's one of those bets that they're not the highest paying bets because they're guaranteed. That's me right there.
Yeah, right. You have to put in 10 to get 5. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go torn between two drivers.
We'll pick them both.
Let's get a new winner here. I'm gonna go with Hanneman, another Eternal driver. He's been up front a lot this season and been in some unfortunate calamity that's happened throughout the season. So let's see.
He
Ray.
is definitely not scared to take out a teammate. That is for sure.
No, he's not. Two of them sometimes in one corner. Hey, but I think Raymond Hanneman has one big obstacle to get around, and I'm not gonna say what or who or whatever, but there's
We
an
all know who what that obstacle is, who and what.
Oh man, that's funny. That's some good stuff right there.
So
But, yeah, it'll be fun regardless, man. Again, super speedways. In this car, as much as I do hate them sometimes, I do love super speedway racing any chance I can get, and it's fun stuff.
Yep. Well, speaking about that, yep, that was it for the pregame show. The
pre-race.
the pre-race show, since we're about to
Wilder
load
was
up and get the
pre-gaming.
race. Was
Wilder
he?
was pre-gaming.
You better chill out on those Mick Ultras, though. He can't drive when he's sober. Maybe he'll drive
I'm
better
getting in the
drunk.
fridge right now, buddy.
Post is back, so
Don't put
he's
two
got to
of
try
them
to
before I
keep.
sit down.
He's
We
got
got some bush lattes going on out in the chat now. Yeah.
Hey, he's riding the Dente. Come on.
Oh God.
All
All right. Well, Tim, we appreciate you hopping in with us and having a little conversation with us here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to do it for the pre-race. We are going to be back here in about 15 minutes, quarter of an hour, for the beginning of this race at Talladega. So we'll see you guys in just a little while. And that's been the Turn and Laps podcast.
Bye.